Hey y'all, welcome back to Right at the Wire. Just wanted to drop a line to recap the Derby preps that will run this weekend. Obviously, the Withers was canceled at Aqueduct due to the cold, and myself being up in New England, experienced it firsthand. And let me tell you, running a horse race would have been a very difficult proposition to be sure. They did run the Bob Lewis at Santa Anita as well as the Holy Bull at Gulfstream. First to the Bob Lewis, which we've renamed the Bob Baffert Invitational. All horses were trained by Baffert in the race. Had a couple of impressions. Newgate pretty much did what he was expected to do. He won the race. Won't say he did it terribly impressively. There wasn't much he was running against. It turns out, and maybe as the distances increase, he could be a little more promising. But right now, I'd say he's the captain of Baffert's JV, and really his JV didn't look like very much. Arabian Lion really doesn't have any heart. He just proved it once again. Hard to Figure gave him all he could handle. As soon as Hard to Figure met him in the eye, he just backed right up. So I'd have to say that it's a pretty safe bet that Arabian Lion is a scratch from the Derby Trail. Hard to Figure ran better than expected. His numbers indicated he was a field filler, but he ran a nice race actually, and he was still in it down the stretch. So who knows? Maybe he will turn into something. We'll just have to see. If Baffert puts him in the San Felipe, then maybe he's on to something. I don't know. Not likely though, in my opinion. Um, Worcester was a disappointment. That two-turn pedigree and being by Baffert, you would have thought he would have had more to offer. Really didn't do much running at all. Kind of stayed at the back and made a little bit of a push late, but all he did was pass Arabian Lion and was backing up. So I'd say he was a disappointment. Again, if with more ground, maybe he'll be better. But right now, I'd say it's very unlikely that we're going to be seeing him on the Derby Trail much. It has a lot of work to do for sure. The Holy Bull Gulfstream. Rocket Can ran an exceptionally professional race, as you would expect it from a Bill Mott trainee. He waited his time, swung out 4 wide, and just took command and didn't look back. It was a very professional win. The big surprise, of course, was Shadow Dragon. Just came from the clouds, and really, it's exciting to think about what's going to happen with this one with more ground. But really promising effort, and certainly Mott has done a really nice job with that one. We'll have to see if he can build on that in the Fountain of Youth. Same for Rocket Can. Cyclone Mischief, not really surprised, I hate to say it, but was a major disappointment. Really didn't do much running at all. He was rated. He really had no excuses whatsoever. He just sat off the lead, and when it came time to push the button, there was nothing there. And so Dale Romans just can't seem to put back-to-back races together, and particularly in stakes races. This is kind of the same old story. I hate to say it, but I don't know. With Cyclone Mischief, maybe he'll rebound in the Fountain of Youth. I'm sure Romans will put him in it, but he really didn't show much, and he really had no excuses whatsoever. So that's a big letdown. And that horse has talent too, so you'd have to wonder if maybe he can rebound. Lord Miles, nothing up the track. Saffie Joseph in the big stakes races at Gulfstream really hasn't been anywhere. It's really astonishing to me. He's a great trainer. That's his home track, and he just didn't get anything out of Lord Miles at all. And I really thought that horse would want more ground, and this would have been a perfect setting for him to get going. Maybe he didn't like the blinkers. I don't know, but really wasn't a factor whatsoever. Legacy Isle, as kind of expected, really that horse doesn't want two turns. They tried to rate him, which was the smart thing to do, kind of ration out his speed. But he really wasn't there when it was time to move. And I don't think you're going to be seeing that horse in any Derby preps. I think it'll be more than likely the Woody Stevens or the Pat Day Mile or some one-turn mile or a sprint race likely. The horse has some speed for sure, but not around two turns. Western Cowboy was a real was a real surprise. I mean, he did all the work early. He was up on the engine, and he was still there late and still charging away. So maybe there's something there. Safi Joseph said about him he was a wait and see horse. Well, I think we saw something and showed a little bit of promise. I'm fairly certain we'll see him in the Fountain of Youth, and hopefully he can build on this effort. And that's the ticket during the Derby trailers. You want to see them building every race a little bit more in the next one, and progressing towards the Run for the Roses. So that's what we're going to be looking for from all the ones who ran this weekend. Are they going to be building and moving forward? And hopefully we'll see them in the Fountain of Youth, and we'll be able to judge for ourselves. The Sam F. Davis is this weekend at Tampa Downs. That's a Derby prep. And I'll have a video for you later in the week talking about that. As mentioned, the Withers is going to be run this weekend at Aqueduct. And so you do have my video to take a look at and see my analysis, and then hopefully that will help you make your selections. Be well, and we'll talk to you later in the week. And as always, please like and subscribe. We really appreciate the increase in viewership we've had lately, and that's a really pleasant surprise. And so tell your friends, and we'd love to grow this community and have a nice, robust group of handicappers all working to pick winners better and be right at the wire. So I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.